Hey friends, it is the first day of summer vacation for my kids today. And so I thought, what a perfect time to make a quick little video on how to do that well. And so if this gives you any sort of value, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so that you get all of my newest content as it comes out. All right, you guys, coming to you all casual like today to talk about summer vacation. Okay, so as a business owner, so these are really valuable tips that I think could help whether you're running a Mary Kay business or you're working from home or whatnot. But today is our first day of summer break. The kids were off school yesterday. It's the end of May. And I was like determined. Every year I am determined to not lose my mind over the summer. And, everyone's wired differently as a mom, as a dad. Um, I was not wired to have a lot of patience with being interrupted constantly and that type of thing. And so these tips have really helped me, and you got to do it right away. You got to head it off at the beginning of summer to kind of help keep your sanity throughout the summer and get your work done. So the first decision to make is, do I want to continue working my business? Do I want my business to continue to be a business? Because here's the thing, you guys. I think sometimes we get a little confused about flexibility. I like to say the word flexibility for when it's really important. Because yes, could I take the whole summer off and just sit at a pool all day, every day with my kids, every day, all day? Absolutely. But then my business is going to suffer, right? So it's this kind of like balancing game. I've worked really hard to get my business where it's at, and I love working my business. It brings me joy to do what I do, and so I don't want to let it go, right? So I'm going to continue to work my business. Just like if you have a normal job, you don't get to take the whole summer off. You might have your kids home, but you don't get to take the whole summer off to just like be with them all the time unless you have the vacation built up. And so treating your business like a business is going to pay you like a business. If you're treating it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. I know we talk about things like this all the time in Mary Kay, but I can't emphasize enough that if you want it to work and build income for you, you have to work it, right? So let's talk about how to spend the summer working your business in amongst like having fun with your kids and doing different things and whatnot. So here's where we're going to start. We are going to start with, you have to make a list of things that maybe happened last summer that you don't want to happen this summer. Now, I just want to say that I have been working my business every single summer since my kids were babies. Okay, so I've been through all walks of life. My kids are 12 and 9 right now, so it's a little bit different than when they're little tiny kids. But there is one truth that is constant no matter how old your kids are, and that is all kids have currency. Okay, all kids have currency. And here's what I mean by that. When they're little kids, the currency might be going to the park. The currency might be watching, I don't even know what Miss Rachel the show now, or Daniel Tiger, one of those kids shows, Bluey, so that's the currency when they're little kids. Obviously, when they're babies, maybe not so much because they're babies, but like once I'd say they're 2 and older, kids have currency. I should also preface this by saying I am not a parenting expert. These are just tips that have helped me just as a mom myself, right? So all kids have currency. My kids' currency right now is video games and screen time. It is Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite. Okay, so that is ooh, it's so good, this currency that I have with my kids. And so um, I like to leverage that currency, so to speak, to have us all have a really smooth summer. It also helps limit screen time. Okay, so there's good in this. It's not just like me manipulating my kids or something horrible. It's just like, no. There's a reality that you're not going to just sit on your screen all day. So let's leverage that currency to just have a harmonious home, we'll call it. Okay, so you're going to laugh at this, but I think there's two things that are really important. Okay, so the first thing is laying out expectations for your kids. What are the things that you are just not going to tolerate that is going to dip into their currency? Okay, so there's dipping into their currency, and then there's the ability to build their currency back up, right? So they're going to get subtracted screen time, or they could get added screen time. And I like to just add screen time when I see them doing their chores and doing the things that are important throughout the week. So that's the first thing, right? Is what are your expectations of your kids? And you have to write it out. I'm going to show you mine in a second. I actually have them written out. And then the second thing that I think is so important is having your kids do chores. Okay, now I'm a farm kid, so like we just did chores and parent however you want. Again, Emily Schutte, not a parenting expert, but okay, I think, and I've heard this from different financial advice type people, is that there's chores that like just maintain the home, and then there's work that they do for you as a job. And I don't give allowance or pay for doing chores because I don't get paid to do the dishes. Do you get paid to do? I don't get paid in my home to do the dishes. I don't get paid to do the laundry. That is like maintaining our home. So they don't get paid for that. Um, they don't get paid for that. They don't even get paid in currency, which is their video game screen time. Do they have to do their chores as an overarching piece of getting screen time? Yes, but it's one piece. It's not the only piece. And then there's stuff they might do for you. So my kids are doing some Mary Kay office stuff for me. They're entering their data entry, like my profile card, sales tickets, that kind of thing. I also have some mailers going out for June. They're going to help me stuff envelopes tonight. They're going to help me make sample packs. My youngest helps me label products. Like there's lots of different things. Now that kind of stuff, I'm going to pay them for. And there's also some tax benefits to setting up your kids as employees. You can only do this with people who are related to you, but it's a full tax deduction. And you can put it in you can put it right into a college savings. You can put it into an IRA. Like there's lots of different things you could just, pay them it and let them spend it. I mean, that's cool too. But lots of good that could come from that. But I just want to be clear that those are separate. And so my kids have chores, and then there's also things that I ask them to do every day, just again, because I don't want my kids just sitting around in front of a screen getting bored. I've done that summer. Trust me, it was not fun. So here are mom's expectations. Okay, and you're gonna laugh. I have a little bit of a sense of humor, so please know that these are funny. Okay, so number one, no fighting. I cannot stand when my kids are fighting. When I hear fighting, screen time is subtracted in 15-minute intervals. Okay. Now, every kid operates differently. I have to threaten that I'm going to take away the currency to get them to comply. That's just like my kids. They're very competitive. Like they understand this. So your kids, do it set it up how you like. Number two, I'm sure some parents watching this can relate to this. No saying I'm bored or what can I do? Figure it out. I subtract 10 minutes of screen time because last summer, every single day, my daughter would come in and say, well, what can I do? I'm so bored. And every time she would do that, I was like in the middle of a thought process in my business or like in a meeting or something. And it's like, wow, you got to figure it out. So number three, clean up after yourself after breakfast and lunch. That's a big one for me. I have taught my kids to make their own lunches so they can make quesadillas, they can make pizzas, they can make salads, they can make ramen, they can make, like, they have a list of things, mac and cheese. I'm not like perfect. Okay. Yes, my kids eat chemicals sometimes. But clean up after yourself, right? So again, I'm going to subtract screen time if they don't do that. Do their daily chores outlined or their zero screen time. Okay. So they do have to do their chores to get some screen time. Um, Oh, this is my favorite. Number five, saying it's too hot to play outside when it's 89 degrees or cooler. Okay. Because that's a thing they've tried in the past. Number six, excessive thudding or gymnastics on the stairs and loft when I'm in my office. So where I'm at right now, like wait, right over here, it doesn't look like it, but the stairwell going up our stairs is right here. And so when they're like thud, thud, and they're jumping down it, it is like the world is ending and my ceiling is collapsing. Okay. And it again, I'm like mid thought on something in a meeting, coaching someone on my team. No, it's a no for me. Okay. So that's minus 10 minutes screen time if I have that. That one's easy in my opinion. Um, asking me a question, expecting me to answer when I'm on another floor of the home. I don't know. My mother used to do this to me. I don't know if you guys do this, but like my son will be in the basement and he'll like scream upstairs, Mom, and expect me to like have this shouting conversation throughout three levels of the home. That's also a no for me. So again, there is a saying that we teach people how to treat us, right? So I'm really just modeling for my kids, like this is how you don't just treat me, but you treat other people too. And then closing the cupboard doors in the kitchen. Now I have these written out and they're going to go on our little board so that they know, because my kids need to see it written out. Okay, so set your expectations. Dad can have expectations too, but he didn't do that. The other thing I had my kids do, which I don't have the papers, they're out in the living room right now, is I had this cute stationery. I had them write their goals for summer. Like, what do they want to accomplish? So, like, my son finished his, and one is like he wants to teach his friend to fish. He wants to limit his own screen time. Like, he's recognizing and being self-aware about his own screen time. I forget what the other two were, but have your kids make a list of their goals, okay? It's because it's fun for them to kind of plan at the beginning of summer. My kids are very much planners. Then I just made all these today, okay? And all I do is I just take colorful paper and I put it on there. So they each have a chore sheet. And I have found, okay, I've done this every which way. I bought this like cute, like Instagram worthy chore chart that they could take this special marker. Y'all, that did not work because the problem is if I don't tell them exactly what to do on the day to do it, they sort of like let things slide or they think, oh, I'm never going to do all that in one day. So I broke it up this time. And because they're getting older, they're getting more responsibility. So for example, every day is something different. So on Monday, okay, and Ethan's older. He's 3 years older than Libby, so he's got more to do. He's got to weed the garden. Okay, before you think I'm some like child labor law person, it was my son's idea to have a garden. I haven't done a garden in a couple years because I'm like, I just can't do one more thing. So I said, that's fine. You can have a garden, but it's totally your thing. Mom's not. Mom is hands off on the garden. So his weed the garden. He needs to sweep the main level. Meanwhile, on Monday, Libby's gonna vacuum the main level. Pick up, put away stuff. I cannot stand little stuff like Legos and like a bobby pin and like a bouncy ball and like just the little stuff. Like that's what I need them to pick up. Then Tuesday, wash and dry the laundry. I'm teaching them laundry. They already fold and put away their laundry, but I'm teaching them how to put it in the washing machine, wash it, and then dry it. You guys, these are life skills. These are good things, okay? Libby has to clean the cat litter box every day. Lucky girl. Clean a bathroom. They both are going to clean a bathroom in our home. We have 3 bathrooms, 4, I don't know, something like that. Can't even count right now. But they're going to do an entire bathroom. Take out the garbage and recycling. That's Ethan's job. Then on Wednesday, they're going to clean their rooms. They're going to wipe kitchen counters. Libby has the litter box. Ethan has to do the bird feeder. Okay, so nothing like life changing, but they're doing something every day. Thursday, fold the laundry. So they did the laundry Tuesday. I'm giving them a day because sometimes it just takes, depending on how much there is, and if we were on a trip, you might need like a bunch of loads to go through. So Thursday, fold it and put it away. Weed garden, vacuum. So again, he vacuumed Monday. Now she's going to vacuum, he's going to sweep. So they're just switching, pick up and put away the little stuff. And then Friday, they have to organize their little locker. Like we have a hallway off our garage where they can hang all their stuff. And it just becomes this like mess of like just stuff falls out of it. It makes me crazy. And so they're just going to organize that, dust the living room, organize their stuff in the garage, like their scooters, their bikes, their balls, putting that stuff away. It's all good. And then each kid has stuff they're going to do daily, right? So Ethan is going to be going out for cross country this year, which I'm super proud of him because I used to be a cross country person and track and play basketball. So my son is following in my footsteps. Anyway, so he's going to go on a run. He's going to play basketball. He's got to check his garden every single day. And then Libby is going to take Dottie outside. That's our cat. Our cat's weird. She goes outside. And then she needs to play outside just to get outside. And then both of them, okay, their job is they're going to be doing stuff in my office. Now, here's the thing. I Googled how much okay, there's two trains of thoughts on this. You could pay your kids $15 an hour, and again, you're going to get that tax write-off. Now, in order to get that tax write-off, and I will drop this in the comments of the video, or not in the comments, in the description. In order to take that deduction, your kids actually have to log, or you have to log how long they're working, what they're doing, and you need to have a paper trail. Like you need to write them a check, have them go to the bank, cash the check, so that there's a trail of money showing that like you are in fact employing your kids and paying them. So they have these work logs. Okay, so they're going to put the date, the tasks completed, time in, time out. I will put the Canva template for this in the description. So if you'd like to start something like this with your kids. So thought process one is if you pay them a lot, like even though they're little, you're going to have a bigger deduction. My thing is, I like that idea in theory, but I also like my kids learning that like when you're starting out and you're not skilled at something yet, you're not going to get paid like someone who's skilled. So I Googled how much should a 9 or 12-year-old make for data entry? And apparently, the national minimum wage for children doing stuff like that is $4.25 an hour. So I was like, I'm feeling like a pretty generous mom at $5 an hour. So for the first 90 days, and then after that, they're supposed to bump up to a minimum wage of $7.25. Of course, my competitive one already asked me, well, mom, aren't we just rounding up? So shouldn't it be 8? And I'll say, we'll see the quality of work. So we're trying to teach that like you don't just get paid, you get paid based on the quality of your work, right? So we're gonna see how that goes, but yeah, so that's what I have. So again, you know, all kids have a currency, so figure out. Now, if you have little tiny babies or little kids, okay, let's talk a little bit about currency because sometimes you have to create the currency with little kids. So when I had my kids were little, I would make a box or a thing, go to the dollar store, go to Target, dollar section, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And I would get fun toys and videos and books and coloring things and whatever, and they would sit in this box and they could only play with those things in the like 2 hour window or hour window, depending on how old and how long they would play. They could only bring out that box of stuff for when I was working. Because again, if they have access to it all the time, it's not special. And then it doesn't hold their attention as long. It doesn't, you know, whatever. But if you bring it out special and say, okay, mom's going to work for an hour, here's the special box, play with the stuff in the special box, then we put it away when we're done and it gets put away. That could be the currency that you create. I also think it's fun and rewarding to create, um, like if you notice your kids doing the things, you know, that you lay out consistently, you might say, you know what, if we can manage 2 weeks straight of like really sticking to this, we'll go to the water park in Apple Valley for a day, or we'll go to Memorial Park, or you know, whatever. Like my son this last year, we always do a deal because he's a wheeler and a dealer. That kid's gonna be really good in sales. I'm telling you, it scares me sometimes. But when he gets good grades, he keeps everything in A or a B, and he doesn't get in trouble. He didn't, you know, no principal, no nothing. You can't get in trouble. He gets to do something. And this year he wants to go to Valley Fair, which is like the big amusement park, kind of like Universal Studios type Minnesota version. I don't know, whatever, with his friend. And so we're going to be booking that this summer. So again, like maybe long term, you pick something that excites the kids and gets them on board. You guys, it is no different than the Mary Kay Star program. Am I right? Like it's just like sometimes we all have a currency, even adults have currency. And so it's important to do that. So put some of these things into place, make some decisions about, you know, is it do I need another tax deduction? But also you're paying your kids. So maybe you get them excited about saving for something, or maybe you start a college fund for them, or you can start an IRA for young kids too. I mean, granted, it's not super fun because they won't get to spend it forever and ever, but just think about how that money could, you know, turn over multiple times, and whatnot. So if you need a really easy way to create a IRA, I love Vanguard.com. That's where I've done mine. Charles Schwab has it. There's lots of DIY stuff. You don't have to do it through a financial advisor. You can. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a parenting expert, and I'm not a tax accountant, but these are just some things that have helped keep some sanity in our home throughout the summer. And you guys just remember, like, enjoy your business, enjoy your kids. You can do it all, but you have to continue to make your business a priority, and not just let it all go by the wayside. I'm gonna tell you right now that sometimes when it's really nice and you just want to lay outside and whatever, it takes some discipline to keep going, but I promise you it's worth it because of the long-term experiences you get to create for your kids and your family, and the trips you're going to go on and the memories you're going to make because you worked and because you had the income and the flexibility when you need it to do that. So have an amazing summer, and set some exciting goals, some big goals, and we'll see what happens.